is made up of trillions, about 50 to 100 trillion cells, depending on your overall makeup. And every one of them are tiny little batteries. Nucleus being acid, cytoplasm alkaline, and generates an electrovoltage. And you have a whole bunch of strings and of cells forming tissues. Tissues form muscle, and the summation of electrovoltage of individualized cells that make up that muscle gives the power to perform for that muscle. A generation ago, my own father, very drunk, okay, but comes from the Superman generation. I mean, long earlobes, big nostrils. They lived in a place where full minerals were available because of the floodplains where all their food was grown. He was drunk. I was then 140 pounds. He grabbed me by the chest, pulled me up. I was arguing with him. He said, "What the hell do you have to say for yourself, Sonny?" And just threw me aside. He was then 60. We don't have these kind of individuals. You work out in the gym, but you're still not as strong as the gorilla. And they do no training. It's all greens. Alkalinity determines the electrovoltage, and the minerals determine your genetic makeup. So realkalize means you're going to increase your overall strength and power. And if you're working with full spectrum of minerals, according to Maynard Murray in his book, Sea Energy Agriculture, he showed genetic damages of all sorts were reversed through the feeding of the experiment animals full spectrum mineral foods. Even also to the point where when animals were compared, for instance, rabbits were placed on a high stress, high cholesterol diet, and both experimental group and control group. The experimental group included full spectrum mineral vegetations that were grown with sea salt. The consequence of that, the ones that were on experimental diet, they saw no high cholesterol, no high blood pressure problems, whereas the other ones were dying from that disease, the ones who were on an optimal laboratory diet. That's how important. It builds superior genetic makeup. You need to be consuming sea vegetables, blue-green algae, sea salt, products that have the full spectrum minerals integration into your system. Alkalizing yourself with what? The only alkalizing foods that there is on planet Earth are all raw. Once you heat treat a product, whether they're most delightful spinach, celery, cucumbers, or whatever, heat treated, you disorganize the minerals and they are not bioactive within your system. So they will not realkalize you. And your diet needs to be at least 80% alkaline. For instance, milk, not that I advocate it, and it's not an essential, it's also basically high on the food chain, and it's accumulative, and matter of fact, all of it that is available in the industries in a pasteurized form. You can go to a website called Not Milk, and primarily, what does it do for you? In the raw state, it seems like, according to Weston Price and others, it was a good food, and even used therapeutically, you could find in medical literature. However, once heat treated, well, you got another issue altogether, because the minerals get disorganized and they precipitate out throughout your system. Anna Schwartz of King Gustav Institute, 30-year study, she showed 85% of arthritic rheumatism is caused by the consumption of pasteurized dairy products. If you go to cultures that noted for highest consumption of pasteurized dairy products, they also have highest incidence of osteoporosis. You would expect just the opposite.